For nearly 2 years, Lewisville police used questionable tactics to arrest women for prostitution until the cases fell apart and the officers themselves were investigated. Now, the I-Team spent months digging into internal records and audio interviews to find out what went wrong.
Did you think getting naked was a good idea or a bad idea?
I didn't know whether it was good or bad. I didn't, like I said, I don't know how to work them.
I had no training when it came to how to work these.
And nobody came in and said, hey, this is how you have to do it. Nobody knew how to do it.
If a member of the public was to learn, we have all these guys going in there, and I'm not saying you, but getting touched past the point of probable cause for multiple minutes. How do you think a member of the public is going to perceive that?
I mean, they wouldn't like it, obviously.
He said, since it's your first time, we'll take it easy on you. So we'll go over here. There's pretty girls there.
And they're bragging about everything that they got done to them at the massage parlors.
Guys, I agree it's wrong. I agree that it only takes one leak to get out there and the entire department's name is garbage at that point. Our cases are garbage. All our cases are garbage.
All right, I-Team producer Kelsey Mittauer is here with us. I mean, Kelsey, it's shocking to hear some of that recording, some of the audio from those investigations, but the fallout was significant from all of this.
Right, and just the size of this investigation, I think, is noteworthy. I've been here 10 years, and I can't remember a time that I've seen an investigation, an internal investigation this size. It was, the paper version was more than 2,000 pages.
Wow.
They interviewed more than 50 people as a part of this. I think it just had to keep going wider and wider and wider, and it took them about 3 months. The timing of it, I think they found out in July of last year, and then it went July, August, September, and then the public found out about it in October. And then after it was all over, there were 3 officers that were terminated, 8 others were disciplined, and then they had to return a lot of seizures, seized cash, almost $250,000, and they had to drop 23 cases.
Wow, I mean, that is a ripple effect that continues to probably be felt even today.
It does.
Especially with the investigations into the sex trafficking world that we know are ongoing throughout North Texas. Let's talk about the actual investigations itself that were problematic. I mean, they lasted 2 years. Do you know why they lasted so long before anyone raised any kind of red flag?
And that was the question that you could hear the internal investigation detectives asking over and over again, is how did no one know that this was happening? And the way the chief described it to us back in November was that people cycled through that department, and I guess lines were kind of drawn and then pushed a little bit and pushed a little bit. And as people came in, they just thought it was normal. You hear a lot of the detectives on the audio say, I thought everyone knew. This had been going on for so long. I thought everybody up to the chief knew this is how we were doing it.
Wow.
And it's still happening today. I know as of last week, some of the officers have appealed, and they were having hearings even last week. So it's not complete. They've still.
So do you think there's going to be additional training that's done within the department to fix this issue going on?
Yes. So the chief says that, yes, there is going to be training. All the officers who were disciplined as part of this are no longer in the unit. He's reworking the unit. They are going to have a written policy now. They didn't before. What to do in these kind of situations when you go in, because we talked to a training expert who said you have to have every scenario mapped out before you go in. You can't have all these questions of like, what do I do? How far do I go?
It's never going to be necessarily a textbook response. I mean, there's always going to be variables involved.
Right.
You mentioned that in our 10 p.m. tonight, you're going to have more reporting.
Yes, and so what this led us to was finding out that the city was actually pushing for, you talked about trafficking, they were saying in 2023 while this is happening, trafficking is a huge issue in our city, and so they were pushing for a law about that, but then what we found was like what the city was saying and then what the police were saying in this interview, they didn't necessarily agree, and so we'll get on to all that tonight at 10.
All right, 10 o'clock tonight, join for more on the I-Team's investigation into these blurred lines, and as always, if you have a tip or a question for our I-Team, you can contact them at I-Team@ktvt.com.